So Ron DeSantis signed a slew of anti-immigrant laws, with the most shocking being the mandatory death sentence for undocumented people convicted of capital crimes. We'll get into the mandatory death sentence in a second, but first there are other policies that went into effect. First, he wants to hire 50 new law enforcement officers focused on immigration. He also made it a crime to enter into Florida without status. The first time could be considered a misdemeanor and the second time could be a felony. Also, he repealed in-state tuition for undocumented immigrants, which is expected to affect 6,000 students. And of course, the most shocking, the mandatory death penalty for undocumented immigrants convicted of capital crimes. This is unconstitutional. Mandatory death sentences take away judges' ability to use their discretion. They will not be able to look at things like race, income, mental health, mitigating circumstances to determine whether or not a person should get the death penalty. And as we know, the death penalty is disproportionately used on people of color. It's also been used too often on innocent people. Like nationally, at least one person is exonerated for every 10 that are executed. And also, poor people are significantly more likely to end up on death row because they don't have the ability to get adequate legal representation. And if you look at the data, the median annual household income for undocumented immigrants was $36,000 compared to $50,000 for people born in the US. This could lead to a lot of undocumented people who cannot afford adequate representation to prove their innocence ending up on death row. Now, mandatory death sentences are supposed to be unconstitutional. They do expect the Florida law to face some legal challenges, but it's scary that they're trying to put the mandatory death penalty on a specific group of people. And remember, to keep up with news stories like these, check out my newsletter or one of my other social media sites, link in bio.